The Go Fast Racing League is on the air, live from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. It is the Grand National Series. Bofa Broadcast would like to thank TDA Motorsports and Mr. Terry Adams for providing tonight's music. TDA Motorsports proudly supports the Disabled American Veterans Association. DAV is an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined with me by my most recent partner in crime, Mr. Scott Brinson. Scott, how the hell are you doing tonight?
Good, man. It's good to be back up here in the booth with you tonight, Tony. And looking forward to calling this here 5th race of the season for the Go Fast Racing League at the Auto Club. Same place we were yesterday. Kind of funny, we did that last week here on Friday night.
Well, that seems to be a common theme with some of the leagues that we've been doing. It makes it it kind of makes it a little bit of fun when we get into the Friday night league. We kind of know what to expect as we're watching the 45 and 32 get into each other coming to pit road. That's always
a little gamesmanship.
Always a little gamesmanship is right. But ladies and
personally,
gentlemen,
it keeps me up to date on the weekly NASCAR calendar because I don't really follow the weekly NASCAR calendar like a lot of these folks do, and it keeps me up to date on it. So
same here. The last time I actually followed the NASCAR schedule to its fullest, for lack of a better term, was back in 2005 when I was working for Morgan Shepherd Racing.
Well, that would be the perfect reason to give you a reason to care. Oh, Morgan Shepherd, huh?
Yeah, I was
been around a long time. That's a name that's been around racing for a few decades.
You're not wrong. I was part of one of his last hurrahs in the Cup Series as a full-time race chaser. But here we are.
I bet that was fun.
The most fun I never want to have again. Being as one of the smaller teams, you were working, 16 to 18-hour days in the shop, and then you were going to and from the racetrack every week as well. So sleep was a rare commodity, and it's definitely a young man's game when you're on the smaller teams. But here we are back at Auto Club with the B cars here in iRacing, the Go Fast Racing Grand National Series. And unlike last night, I was taking a look at the weather earlier. Ambient air temperature 76 degrees, so a nice, comfortable day in sunny Southern California. However, the track temperature 103 degrees. Good grief.
That's a little warm.
It's slightly warm. We got a 6-mile-an-hour wind out of the west, so something to keep an eye on. From the looks of it, the same two calamity corners are the same two calamity corners we had last night. The exit of 2 and the exit of 4 seem to be giving everybody fits, especially when they get a handful of laps on the tires.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit last night, but for the most part, once the race started, everybody was able to maintain the car and keep it going straight.
Once they figured out what they needed to do, yeah. Quick rundown of what's going on right now. Mark Nadeau currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard with a 41.657. That's going a pretty good clip here in the B cars, as points leader Tyler Cox spins it coming off the corner there. Mike Trevarthen cranking off a lap. Currently sitting third quick. Tyler Cox currently sitting 6th. So you got Nadeau, Morris, Trevarthen, Banks, Burchett, and Tyler Cox, your points leader, currently sitting 6th. So that's your top 6 right there.
Yeah, I'm currently seeing a total of 27 cars that are here at the racetrack so far. They still got 4 minutes left here in practice, 5 minutes of qualifying, so you could always get those last couple stragglers that straggle in there at the end, but just short of 30 as of right now here tonight at Auto Club.
And that's the thing, is this league always impresses me with the number of cars they have week in and week out. And these guys are always slugging away at it as far as, racing every segment like it's the last. Scott, you have an update on our current points standings? I know Tyler Cox, after having the good run that he had last week, still sitting atop the leaderboard. But who else do we have up there?
Well, Tyler Cox has got himself a 19-point lead over Dylan Bowes, who is second place. Michael Trevathan, he's third place, 21 points back. Jeff Schmidt, he moved up 3 spots into that 4th spot. He's 31 points back. And then rounding out the top 5 is Austin Marion. 6th place is Brian Littleton. Joe Burchett, who only has 3 starts to everybody else's 4, moved up 6 spots with that win last week into 7th place. He's currently 40 points back, so he's a little ways back, but we got a long way to go as far as the season goes. David Worrell's in 8th. He dropped 4 spots. Kyler Allen Sr. is 9th, and rounding out the top 10, jumping up a couple spots, was Damon Cox, and he's 52 points back.
So I'm noticing a couple of names missing tonight. Let me double check my Gazentas. Oh, yep. Okay, there he is. Damon Cox, last car in your point standings, currently sitting 23rd quick. I didn't see Dustin tonight. I'm not seeing his name in the standings, so I'm thinking we're going to have a big point shake-up up towards the front tonight. Or Dylan, I mean. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I'm looking for Dustin in the standings. I didn't see a Dustin.
Sorry about that. I meant Dylan. I did mean Dylan. But I'm not seeing him currently in the session, so...
I don't see him either. He's not in there. Yeah, that could. He's second place.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge points implication right there. As just about a minute and a half left in the hot lap session. Mark Nadeau taking it back to pit road. Again, 33 thousandths to the good right now. Again, you are watching a presentation of the Go Fast Grand National Series. If you like the action that you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to get involved with the action that you're seeing on track, go ahead and wait till the replay is available and drop a comment in the replay comment section. We'll get that passed along to the league admins, and we'll see if we can't get you added into next week's action in one of the Go Fast Racing series.
I was just looking at their schedule too. They'll be off the next 2 following Friday nights. They won't be back until April 6th. So last race for about 3 weeks for these guys on Friday nights.
Well then.
Yeah, 2 weeks off in a row. I was like, wow.
Oh, that's right. The real life cars don't run Martinsville this early. So, where are we returning to when we're back in 2 weeks?
Texas Motor Speedway, then Bristol, then Richmond. So a mile and a half, then short track racing.
Fair enough. You know, I got to say, as far as the Cup schedule goes, Richmond's probably one of my more favorite tracks to go to.
Oh, practice is over and qualifying has begun. 5 minutes to go out there and lay down your best 2 laps.
Yeah, these are solo qualifying laps, folks. So we're currently watching Mark Nadeau as he's out on track. No, actually he's not. He just decided to park it. So Michael Trevathan, one of your top 10 point standers, on his outlap, getting up to speed right now, coming through turn 4.
Well, we had a 28th join, so we're looking at 28 cars here tonight. Everybody appears to be in the session.
All right.
Still no sign of Dylan, though. So, yeah, that's second place in the points, so he will fall. That will have an impact.
Huge points implications right there.
Haven't even turned a lap yet.
So again, we're following along with Trevarthen as he's getting ready to be marked down for his first qualifying lap, and goes provisional P1 for 41.7. Rick Mitchell sitting second. Austin Marion, Damon Cox, Timothy Giles, Rick Mitchell Jr. Going fifth quick. Times are coming in fast and furious now.
Got about half the field.
Carl Hayes currently sitting second quick.
Wonder how many of these guys are going to choose not to turn a lap starting the back.
I'm not sure how that works, but I do know that Mark Nadeau blisters one 41.616, over a tenth to the good.
That looks good right now. That's for sure.
Good.
We got 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left. We got about 12 guys that haven't recorded a time yet.
Todd Craig going for his second lap right now. Joshua Banks goes one better.
Wow.
Wow.
A little over half a second.
41.5. 66 thousandths to the good. First guy tonight to go into the fives.
Minute and a half left.
That is hauling the mail. Good grief.
6 guys now yet to record a time.
It's Tyler Cox finally making his way out, getting up to speed. Just about a minute lap. It looks like he's going to be a one and done kid tonight. Might have time for a second lap, but
Skylar Allen, the owner of the league, he went out there and laid down a blistering 2 minute and 13-second lap.
I think that was just to make
They
sure
did
he
that
had a
last week
time.
too.
Yeah. Tyler Cox following along with him, still making his way down the back straightaway there into turn 3, hugging that white line, trying to get the short way around. Blasts it down onto the apron right next to the grass. And that's only good for fourth quick. As time expires, looks like David Worrell is going to be the last one to post a time here. He's going to be a one and done. Eric Minch, one and done. And Worrell runs out of time. So, starting up on the pole, Josh Banks, unofficial track record 41.550. He's going to be joined up there with Mark Nadeau. Row number 2 is going to see Doug George and Tyler Cox. Aaron Fowler and Joe Burchett are going to make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to go to Michael Trevarthen and Carl Hayes. John Morris and Brian Littleton are going to make up row number 5.
Back in row number 6 is Todd Cray and Lee Grant. Chris Echapar, is that how you say that?
I believe so.
Well, him and Austin Marion will start back there in row 7. Rick Mitchell and James Finn will start in row 8. Row number 9, Jeff Schmidt and Jeff Whoopker. And back there starting 19th and 20th is a familiar name in Robert Dudley and Timothy Giles.
Row number 11 is going to see Damon Cox and Rick Mitchell Jr. Row 12 is going to go to Jeremy Rigney and Skylar Allen Sr. Eric Minch and Stephen Parks are going to start in row 13. Jeff Puffenbarger and David Worrell are going to be in row 14. And that is going to do it for the starting lineup tonight.
Time to go racing in SoCal.
Time to go racing. Looks like everybody's on the grid already. I believe it's going to be safe to assume that we're going to see pretty much the same thing that we saw last night with the Cup cars here. As looks like got a couple cars getting ready to drop to the back of the field.
Well, this race is only 2/3 of the distance we called last night.
It is
be short compared to that one.
Aaron Fowler getting an EOL apparently did not turn enough laps in practice. So dropping to the tail of the starting grid on that one. So Banks going to lead him to green in that Matco Tools number 36. Definitely one to keep an eye on tonight. He's got some heavy hitters around him.
Where's our buddy Mr. Osmer at this evening?
Mr. Osmer is, I believe...
MIA?
No, he is at a late model race, if memory serves me correctly.
Right on.
So
that he's participating in?
Yes, a real-life late model race. So...
we'll get us going. It's time to go racing.
They're working through the 3-4 complex. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. There he goes. Josh Banks has control of the field right now. Holds him down, holds him down, holds him down. Stacks him up, finally pulls the trigger. Green flag is out. And we are underway at Auto Club Speedway.
Had a little bit of a shaky start back there through the field, but for the most part, everybody's going here. A little accordion effect, but not much.
Looks like Tyler Cox was trying to push Mark Nadeau. May have gotten him a little loose going into the corner. That's going to let Josh Banks get to the front. Doug George able to make the most of it in the Captain Morgan's number 10 to the inside right now on Nadeau.
Boy, these starts of these races, it's always fun to see these starts. Everybody just tries to get everything they can.
And we are 3 wide off of 4. Nadeau wisely checking up.
Big, wide, sweeping corners, wide track. Gives people room to go all over the place, and they're taking advantage of course, the fresh rubber right now.
And that's something that we saw last night in the Cup Series. You put 4 Mr. Feelgoods on the car, and you feel like Superman for about 5 laps, and next thing you know, the Flintstones had softer tires than you have.
Yeah, it'll chew them up pretty quickly. It's an abrasive surface out there, so the tires don't last too long. But with as many cars here tonight, I'm sure we're going to have a few cautions.
Well, we're probably going to see at least a couple. We do know that there's going to be stage racing as Cox bounces it off the wall and then bounces it off the 10 of George.
Are there stages? There's not stages in this league, is there?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think this one has stages.
No, you are right. You are right. This is...
so this could go green the whole way.
There is that possibility. There is always that possibility, as we've got the 88. That is Brandon Puffenbarger all the way down on the apron. Looks like he might be having some problems. David Worrell already in the pits. We're going to go back and see what happened to those two.
And the 88 was actually the last hauler that arrived at the track. Ooh, we got some door banging. We got one going almost towards the grass. What a save. Kept it out of the grass, got it back up above the white line, and kept her going. Man, that nose was pointed right for that inside wall, but hell of a save back there. All kinds of action going on right now.
They're slugging it out at the top of the field right now. Banks and Nadeau are got to be feeling comfortable, but right now the battle for third is Tyler Cox, Doug George, and Joe Burchett bouncing off each other, bouncing off the wall, and just trying to get everything they can right now on the fresh rubber.
Everybody's trying to get everything they can right now until them tires give up.
And that's
it won't be long.
And that's when you can really tell the difference between the haves and the have-nots as far as who are the drivers and who are the steering wheel holders. It's when the tires you used most of the goodie off the tires, and it really comes down to your skill level. That's really what separates the. I'm not going to say it's going to separate the men from the boys, because there are a lot of female drivers that I've raced against in iRacing that can drive rings around a lot of the quote boys in the league. My sometimes broadcast partner, Miss Layla Wilson, being one of them. If you ever go to an open session in a road course and you laugh because there's a sprint car in the session, expect to see Layla probably in the sprint car on a road course, and expect for her to eat everybody's lunch when she does so. Good luck catching her, kids. But meanwhile, Josh Banks showing the way right now. 0.4 of a second to the good over Mark Nadeau. Nadeau currently sitting in second, and you see George and Burchett slugging it out for third. Looks like Tyler Cox may have gotten a little aero damage a couple of times that he's brushed the wall and he's gotten a Darlington stripe at Auto Club Speedway. I'm not sure if that's how that's supposed to work, but we'll let him have it because he's the points leader.
Yeah, everything's pretty much single file up there through the top 8 or so, but back here mid-pack, they're still racing hard back here.
These guys are really going at it right now. Is Marion to the inside of, it looks like James Finn, going to get the spot from him.
They're just now starting to single file out through that portion of the pack there. Tires are starting to take effect now. We're working lap number 7, coming to lap 8. So, guys, some guys are probably already starting to feel it a little bit from what they had at the start. Not feeling quite as good.
You're definitely not wrong there.
So far, your current top 10 is Josh Banks is leading this race. Mark Nadeau second. Doug George third. Joe Burchett, last week's winner, fourth. Tyler Cox fifth. Michael Trevathan sixth. Joe Morris seventh. Brian Littleton eighth. Todd Cray ninth. And Chris Etchepar, I think that's how you say it, is 10th.
Actually, Etchepar just got passed by Schmidt.
There you go, folks.
Schmidt able to keep it wound up on the high side too. So it's really, you can tell when the tires start to wear out because that second lane becomes the preferred line through the corners because you can really keep it wound up. And it looks like Etchepar is going to lose another spot to Austin Marion if he's not careful.
I hope that's how you say it. Whoa, 09 almost going around there. I don't know if he got loose or if that was a little bumper contact, but good save.
Definitely a pucker moment for Wubker there.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is what was going on just a few laps ago. Just hard racing here in the middle of this pack. Guys bunching up. Now we're really starting to see them bunch up. A couple different little groups here.
Currently watching it. Actually, we're back up towards the front. This is your battle for fifth with Cox and Trevathan slugging it out there. Throw a blanket over the top 4, and then you've got this battle shaping up for fifth right now. Trevathan able to keep it wound up on the high side. Cox battling on the low side. Not going to really be able to do much down there because he's got to pinch the car off so much. You lose a ton of momentum to try to stay off the car to your outside.
Meanwhile, those front three are nose to tail right now. Pretty impressive. That fourth car is trying to hang on to these front three.
Well, that's last week's winner, Joe Burchett, as Doug George was all over the back bumper of your pole sitter, Mark Nadeau. I'm sorry, quick time in practice, Mark Nadeau. Joshua Banks has led from the pole, currently has led all 11 laps. And these guys are just straight up walking away from everybody right now. 6/10 to the good over Joe Burchett in fourth.
Yeah, Joe's just kind of in that medium ground right now, kind of falling back to fifth place there. He was hanging on, but now he's starting to fade a little bit. About midway between third and fifth.
Well, I'm thinking Joe might start to go into fuel save mode, thinking that this might stay green for a while. So we saw him do that before. He'll go into fuel save mode. And, the next thing you know, he's got an extra lap or two on everybody else.
Lee Grant back here trying to move up a couple positions, trying to get 2 for 1. He had the door closed on him. Now he may not even wind up getting 1 out of this deal. As the 11 fights back on the outside.
Well, Rigney able to keep it wound up. Grantney now setting his sights on Skylar Allen's senior. Skylar knows where to put that car when he needs to.
It's good racing all the way through the field. Pretty impressive that we are still green with this many cars out there. Big track though, plenty of room.
Plenty of room, but the thing is that's the one thing that I can commend the Go Fast guys about is, they try to keep it as clean as they possibly can.
Well, the conditions seem pretty ideal for the track temperature being so high. You'd think it'd be a little slicker out there, and you'd see some of these guys having issues with it, but that has not been the case, nor have I seen anybody really, sideways. Last night was a different story.
Right now we got Damon Cox and James Finn slugging it out for... That's your battle for 17th, folks. These guys are racing that hard, that deep in the pack. Tell me that these guys don't like to race. When these guys are just slugging it out, they're throwing haymakers, but they're giving each other room and racing respectfully.
I think a lot of these guys have burned up their tires now, and they're just riding until they make a pit stop.
You're probably not wrong.
That's the thing about the start of these races. Everybody's pumped up. The adrenaline's pumping. You tell yourself, all right, I'm going to take care of the tires. I'm going to take care of the tires. And then you're 15 laps into it. Like, damn, my tires are gone.
Well, we are 3 wide right now for 12th.
That's what it's all about.
As Wubker just kept his foot in it on the high side, went around Heights and Echapar.
I personally like 3 wide racing. The senses go up when you go 3 wide. You know you're 3 wide.
That's not the only thing that happens. Usually, certain parts of your anatomy slam shut.
Nah, I usually stay pretty focused. I want to make it through it, so.
Oh yeah, no, I want to make it through it too, but it's definitely one of those pucker moments, and I don't mean mouth.
No, I try to stay relaxed. I try not to overreact. Overreaction will put you in the wall or put you into somebody.
Well, the battle right now is really shaping up for second as, the 36 sideways. Here comes George on the high side. We've got a new leader, Doug George,
yes,
to the point.
That's all it takes.
Josh Banks was dirt tracking off of turn 4.
And how ironic, that's the first time we've seen anyone do it tonight, and it cost the leader the lead.
As Nadeau just tries to take the turn 2 wall with him.
Now we're starting to see it. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
17 laps in. This is exactly 17 laps in. This is where the tires went straight to pot last night in the Cup Series. Looks like it's.
Yellow flag flag is out.
And
we
there
got
it
our
is.
first caution.
Let's
I
see.
figured that was coming. These guys were ready for that. Good timing as far as they're concerned.
Looks like Timothy Giles. Let's take a look and see what happened with the 5 here. As they're coming through turn 2 now in the replay. Makes a little bit of contact with the 63. And they... Let's take a look and see what the chopper picked up on that one, because that looked kind of weird. You see the 63. Well, let's back that up just a tick more, kids. Okay, so there's the initial contact with the 63 as they come down the back straightaway. 63 comes up, they bump, and just around she goes. I'm thinking it was just two guys racing hard for the same piece of real estate, and
That's what it looks like.
that's the outcome that you end up with.
And it looked like the 5 just didn't want to give up on it though a little bit. It looked like he was sawing on that wheel, so maybe it just knocked him out of tow. Got a little unbalanced, got a little unhappy, and you could see him sawing on that wheel. So I don't know if that was just he was refusing to give up the space and he ultimately lost the battle, or if it just disrupted the car.
Well, you're probably not wrong. As the battle off pit road, Doug George able to squeak it out.
Well, who would you like to talk to?
Oh, surprise me.
User was moved to your channel.
There you go, Tony.
Helps if you tell me who we're talking to. Austin
Sorry,
Mary and Tony up in the
Austin
booth.
Mary.
You got me, sir. Austin Mary.
Yeah, what's up?
So talk us through that first run there. Notice that everybody started to be flirting with disaster towards the wall there about 15 laps into that last run. How bad is the tire fall off tonight for you guys?
It's pretty bad. I've seen worse, but I did definitely see a couple of guys kind of trying a little too hard coming out of the corners and whatnot, but not too bad.
Fair enough. Austin, I do need to apologize to you. Trading Paints is not showing that awesome paint scheme that you normally are running. So I do need to apologize. So when you look back at the replay, blame Trading Paints on that one.
All right. Yeah, I like these paint schemes. I came up for these ones.
It kind of reminds me of some of the late models that run in the Northeast with the lettering, the number on the quarter panel.
Yeah, just wanted to run something a little bit different, get a little tired of the regular look of the Cup cars.
Absolutely.
Now they just let us put a sponsor on the side.
Exactly. But best of luck to you, Austin. Hopefully we'll be talking to you in about 80 laps time.
All right, yeah, I'm aiming for that top 3.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, so Austin Marion currently running in 7th.
Or Carl Hayes just fell through. That's unfortunate.
That's going to be our first one to be completely out of the event today.
We'll see if he's able to get back in here pretty quickly. They're under caution, fortunately, so if he hustles back in here, it may not cost him but a lap or two.
As the field forming up 2 by 2, lights are out on the pace car as there goes the wave around. That would be David Worrell. No. Worrell and Puffenbarger getting the wave around there. And Worrell is going to be a sitting duck. I know he wanted to get back on the lead lap, but he's 18 laps into his tire stint right now.
Let's just hope he doesn't get run over and then kill everybody else.
Well, he's going to be starting at the tail of the field, so that's a little bit.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So Doug George in the Captain Morgan's number 10 going to lead him back to the green. And see what Josh Banks is going to have for him in that Matco Tools number 36. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Go Fast Racing League Grand National Series live from Auto Club Speedway. They do this every Friday night. If you like the action that you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And go ahead and wait till after the live portion of the broadcast. Go to the replay portion and drop a comment with your iRacing screen name. If you want to get involved with the Go Fast Racing League, we'll get that passed along to the league management. As Doug George wasting no time pulling the trigger. As soon as the pace car twitched, he was gone.
That's the way to do it. Catch them all napping.
Business is picking up behind him. Joe Burchett to the inside of Brian Littleton. And here comes Jeff Schmidt.
Well, here we go again with everybody having new tires. You're telling yourself, I'm going to protect the tire. I'm going to protect this tire. We'll see how many of them are able to do that, because you saw we got a decent little green flag run there. What happens if we just keep going green? You know, you're going to have to take care of those tires.
You're going to have to take care of the tires as Burchett and Trevarthen going side by side. This is definitely becoming a common sight with those two just slugging it out just about every track we've gone to so far. And Burchett's going to try to get 2 for 1 as they go through the 1-2 complex. That's Todd Cray on the high side in the 21. Burchett going to duck in and try to get some draft now. And Doug George is a half a second to the good already.
Looked like they were almost 4 wide coming out of 2 back there in the back. They're racing hard in the back, man. It don't matter. Everybody's racing tonight.
No, that's the one thing about when they first did the repave here at Auto Club Speedway, the drivers weren't happy, and the track had no chutzpah to it. As George tags the wall coming out of 2.
Ooh. 96 about lost it too. A couple different things going on there. That was close for the 96. I thought he's coming around. Good save.
Skylar Allen Jr. or sorry, Skylar Allen Sr. in the Valvoline 96 right now. As he's slugging it out with Robert Dudley. That is your battle for 15.
A lot of guys swerving and putting the block on right now. I don't know if that's necessary.
It's a little early to be driving that defensively. And Fowler up into the top 8 now as he gets a 2 for 1 coming through the 1-2 complex. Throw a blanket over this battle for 8th right now. As you got Fowler, Marion, Echapar, and Finn all just cranking on each other. And don't count out Tyler Cox. He's back there too.
We are a 4th of the way through this race. 25 down, 75 to go. Here for the Go Fast Racing League here on Friday nights.
Wide.
Yeah. Wasn't sure if we were going to live to tell the tale on that one, but we did. It's racy back here mid-pack. All this right around 10th place, folks.
You know it's a good one when you have to talk while you're taking a swig of soda.
Sometimes that can be dangerous to do.
You think?
I can hear it.
Oh.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll live.
Catch your breath.
Good to go. Is these guys are still just slugging it out for 8th.
And it's not over yet. Oh, a little impatience right there.
Little toot from the chrome horn.
Toot toot. They're still playing fair though.
They're still playing fair, but you know, it's one of those. Hey guys, I gotta go.
And it's not 3 o'clock on the playground yet.
Not quite. Oh, hang on to her, kid. That was James Finn in the 60, getting it all sorts of crossed up.
Saved it though. Good save.
It did save it, but he's dropping like a stone right now. He completely pancaked the right side of that car.
I think he woke some of them other guys up around him. Made sure they were still doing all right.
Pretty much so.
Like no heartbeat.
So George, Banks, Burchett, Trevarthen, Cray, Schmidt, Littleton, Cox, Fowler, and Etchapar, your top 10.
And everybody getting singled out for the most part, except for maybe here and there. Somebody having a slip up, somebody slipping by.
Well, that's Nadeau and Allen going after it for 14th right there.
And Hughes did slide back into the room, but he is 8 laps down. That cost him a bunch. He is the only car that is not on the lead lap. Out of the 28 that started, we still have 27 on the lead lap, with Carl Hughes being 8 laps down. Or Hayes, might be Hayes.
I'm going to have to get confirmation from Skylar after this, how you pronounce some of these names.
Yeah. Till then, we'll butcher the hell out of them.
Absolutely. The story of my life. If I had a nickel for every time somebody added an extra S to my last name.
Oh, they always put a T in mine. Princeton. Nope, no T.
Well, everybody keeps wanting to. All my life, I've always been referred to as Trespasso. If I had a nickel for every time that's happened, I'd make Donald Trump look like a welfare recipient.
That's funny. Trespasser. Oh, no!
I can tell you after the broadcast what my last
name.
name really means.
All right. Starting to see some guys wiggle out there now. That tells me they're cooking up the tires.
Well, we are currently 12 laps into this stint, working lap 31 of 100.
Getting close to where we were.
And Josh Banks has caught Doug George.
Oh, another one almost losing it. Coming back up. Still big wiggling. Down below the white line. Good save. What number is that? Is
Damon
that
Cox.
47.
Damon Cox in the 47. The Brandt number 47. That was a hell of a driving job. Let's take a look at the replay on that one. Here he is going into 1 and 2, down on the low side. Austin Marion to his high side. Mark Nadeau behind him, trying to pinch it down, and that's what happens when you're trying to run that low line this late into a run. Too wide is not the safest thing to be doing. Absolutely. Nope. And we are back live. That's Nadeau to the inside of the 06 at Etchapar. And here comes Marion, too. Etchapar going to try to keep it wound up on the high side. Going to pinch Marion down. Austin Marion not going to be able to get the drive. They're still slugging it out, still side by side. Marion, wow. 5 thousandths of a second. That's your battle for 12th, and that's how close these guys are running.
Good
Marion
stuff,
finally
man.
gets to clear off a 2, and here comes Skylar Allen. Meanwhile, up towards the front, Littleton and Schmidt going after it. That's your battle for 6th.
These guys had 9 cautions last week on the short track at Phoenix. Something tells me we're not going to get anywhere close to that number here tonight at Auto Club.
Now, mind you, that was Scott Brinson that just jinxed the field, so get your hate mail coming.
No, I think these guys will be all right. I think we're looking at about a 3 or 4 caution race, to be honest with you. I mean, it's got a good feel to it.
And
I mean,
we are side by side
deal.
for the lead as Banks gets the run. What happened to Doug George? Let's back that one up and see. Oh, that's what happened. Here he is coming through turn 2. We're backing it up. They're coming through turn 1. Here we are off of 2. George on the slide for life. Bangs into the safer barrier. Hits the wall again. Completely flattens the side of that number 10. And Banks just motors on by. That was a big moment right there.
Yeah, just about how bad did he hurt that car?
Surfboard. The right side of that car is a surfboard.
Oh, he's hanging on for the most part. I guess we'll be able to tell as the run goes on here and how much time the guys behind him catch up on him.
Well,
That'd be the dead giveaway.
Joe Burchett's holding court right now as he's got, I believe that's Mike Trevarthen right behind him. Yes, it is.
Been racing for about 30 minutes or so, and more than halfway to the halfway point. So they're knocking this thing out pretty quickly.
And we still have a lot of guys on the lead lap, but we're closing in on the point where some of these guys are probably going to want to try to take a green flag stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. David Worrell has fallen a lap down. I was going to say they're all on there except for Hayes, but now Worrell's a lap down. So 26 out of the 28.
Well, Worrell has recently been into the pits. I knew that was going to have to happen. He's only 5 laps into his current stint. So he restarted this segment, or this current green flag session that we're in with 18 laps on his tires. I'm thinking he about had enough there.
Somebody, I'm trying to catch the number here. The 06 just about had enough there as he lost it coming off a 2. But, man, another one of them guys was able to go down below the white line and save it.
And these guys are still slugging it out. This is your battle for 16.
There it is. 66 or 60 sideways. Wow, I can't believe none of them guys plowed him and T-boned him there on the front stretch.
Well,
great job by all those guys to not do that.
A couple of them got into him, and that was
light contact, though. It wasn't heavy. It didn't put him out of the race.
Well,
Somebody should have been blown up.
That was Joe that turned him.
Tough break for the 60.
No, I'm sorry. That was Mark Nadeau that turned him. I think. I could be wrong.
He bounced off the wall. It was the I'm trying to catch the number. The light blue car there.
Okay, let's try this again.
I think it was Stephen Parks. Yeah, it was Stephen Parks. Stephen Parks bounced off the wall, come down, got into the 60, and that's what started all that.
And that's what 20 laps on your tires will do, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's just that that quick is how fast it happens. So we're back live as Field catching the pace car, and Finn wasting no time, not even going to try to catch the pace car. Going to take the EOL for entering a closed pit. Just going to take it right down there and get the going to try to start pit farming that car, because if I'm not mistaken, this league does not have a fast repair.
Nope.
So it looks like everybody bringing it down pit side to get, oh no, Skylar Allen staying out to get a point for lap lead.
I don't blame him. He's been running in the back about high teens, 20s. So why not? It's worth it. Bonus point. Every point counts.
Absolutely.
Not really losing anything. You might lose cost, but because some guys will come in and top off, so it'll almost balance itself out. Not quite, but it's not that big of a loss.
So everybody else on pit road right now, right side's going up, left side's going up. And Banks gonna win the battle. Trevarthen coming off pit road, second one off pit road, currently sitting third. Then Joe Burchett, Todd Cray, Tyler Cox, Aaron Fowler, Jeff Schmidt, Brian Littleton, and Austin Marion rounding out your current top 10. As, like we said, Skylar Allen stayed out. So expect to see him come down pit side this time. Little bit of a crinkle on the right front of that car, so probably he knows he's got to go to the back anyway. He's probably gonna try to get the damage at least pulled out a little bit, since he's got let's see, that last lap was 2 minutes under pacing, so that's plenty of time for the crew to really work their magic and try to get that car back in one piece, or as close to one piece as they can get.
Well, I'm guessing that we're probably not going to get any green flag stops tonight. It's looking like every time we get about 15, 20 laps on the tires where we're going to be getting a caution. Because there were starting to be a lot of signs of a lot of different guys having issues both times once we got to about that 15 lap mark. So it appears the tires just have a cliff, and once you go off the cliff, that's it.
And
Did someone just disappear?
Maybe. No.
I'm thinking second. Maybe second. No? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did second just disappear?
Michael Trevarthen is blinking badly.
There he is. Yeah, I thought so. There he is. Now he's back on my screen. But, man, he was gone for a long time.
He keeps bouncing on my screen. I can't even grab him.
Yeah, he's in trouble. There he is. Okay. Hey, you can get clock smashed for that happening. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's when you're blinking out going across the line. It does not count your lap.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling in the world, knowing that you should be running on the lead lap, and all of a sudden you go from second to 15. And there's only 14 cars in the race.
Clock smash.
But lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to turn them loose one more time. Josh Banks going to have control of the field. Again, you are watching a presentation of the Go Fast Grand National Series here at Auto Club Speedway. If you like the action that you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, wait till after the live stream. Go ahead and drop a comment down in the replay comment section, and we will do what we can to try to get your your information passed along to the league admins, and see if we can't get you in on the action in a future race.
Just about halfway through this race, as we're going back to lap 43 of the scheduled 100. Been a good one so far. Only 2 cautions if you're just tuning in. Guys are having some issues after they get a few laps on the tires. Cars are getting wiggly. It's brought out both cautions.
You know what? It doesn't. I don't mind the fact that we've had a couple of cautions because it gives you and I a chance to catch our breath because it's just been non-stop action all race long.
Yep.
And
We had a lot of traffic out there. That has a lot to do with that.
well, these guys in the Go Fast series know how to drive these cars, and it's always fun to watch them do their thing. As you know, I have yet to have a bad thing to say about any of the races that we've done with these guys.
Yeah, last week's, even though they had 9 cautions at Phoenix, it was still a pretty solid race. That's just short track racing. They just pile up sometimes.
Oh, it was a solid race, but what a finish! Holy cow!
Yeah, the finish was spectacular. Well, we have that kind of finish here tonight at Auto Club. Still got a long way to go, but Josh Banks, he's trying to break away. He's trying to say, I want to seal this up right now and just stay green. I'll just drive away. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but you never know. I've seen stranger things happen.
Well, and there.
There it is. We're wrecking. Wrecking? Yep, we're wrecking. No caution. Look at all them cars diving down below the white line. No caution. About 3 or 4 of them.
I can't catch them. I know one of them was our points leader.
Wow. That's the thing about Auto Club, man. It's so big and so spacious down there that they just sweep them down off the track. We'll just keep going.
Ooh.
And that's exactly what just happened.
That's a basilar skull fracture waiting to happen. Points leader Tyler Cox just hand grenaded the car.
Man. Well, that's going to shake up the points first and second. Second didn't show up tonight, and first just blew it up. So, going to be a new points leader next week, likely.
Well, it looks like Cox got into the 21. The 21 came up, cracked the 9. The 9 got into the 14. And, oh, my Lanta.
He did have a comfort zone, but he's also going to be one of the first cars out of the race tonight, so it's going to hurt.
Well, since we are under caution, let's see if we can get a team down to the Infield Care Center and see what Tyler saw there.
I'm looking for him.
Overtake Motorsports.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello?
Tyler Cox, Tony up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
Talk us through what just happened from what you saw.
I don't know if Craig got a little loose. I know I got in the bag of him. I didn't mean to do that. I know Fowler was on the inside of me. I didn't want Fowler to come up into me, and then I got in the back of Craig because I had a super huge run, but also was pretty tight coming off. So I think I probably caused that one. I'll probably take the blame for that because, yeah.
How bad is the car?
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's junk. So our night's pretty much over, but I despise this racetrack. This track in Michigan, 2 of my worst tracks. Absolutely hate them.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully your team can get that car fixed. Hopefully, your trip to the Infield Care Center wasn't too bad, and best of luck to you for the rest of the event, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we can keep somewhat the points lead coming out of here. I know it was like 19 or 20 points ahead, so shouldn't hurt me too bad.
All right, sir. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
As we just went back live, as everybody started to wonder if they were going down pit road, Josh Banks hung out to dry. Everybody behind him went. Jeff Webker stayed out. Skylar Allen stayed out. Joe Burchett winning the battle off pit road. Looks like everybody taking 4 Mr. Feelgoods and getting back at it.
As you like to say, he got dummied.
He definitely got thrown the dummy there.
Yeah, he did. The whole field dummied him there.
Well, he went down like he was gonna go, and everybody else was kind of high, like they weren't gonna go. So he comes back up, and they went down. And by the time he wanted to go, it was way too late. So yeah, that was well played, gentlemen. Well played.
A couple other guys stayed out with him, so he didn't stay out alone. So
No, but I'm thinking with 7 laps on those tires, the top 4 are pretty much sitting ducks right now.
There weren't that many on them tires. Were there 7 already?
7
No
laps
way.
since the last time they were down pit road. Granted, only
Yeah, but
3 of them were green,
yeah.
but still.
So 3 green laps. You can't count them yellow ones.
Well,
So three laps on the tires.
hey, 7 laps is 7 laps.
Yeah, but you ain't burning up the tire under caution. At least you should be. Some guys, they'll go out there and do everything they can, though, to scrub the hell out of their tires.
Absolutely. And it looks like we're going to get the green at the halfway mark. So currently, Josh Bank, Jeff Wubker, Skylar Allen Sr., Joe Burchett, Mike Trevarthen, Austin Marion, Jeremy Rigney, Jeff Schmidt, Doug George, and Rick Mitchell, your top 10. Good to see Skylar up towards the front of the field. Definitely had a hell of a run going earlier. Mired in traffic, but, up towards the front now. Good to see that. And
Yeah, I couldn't find Tyler there because he's that one it's not his name. It's that other nickname of his.
yeah. The only reason I know that is because he's done it to me for about 3 weeks now, so I knew what to look for. Christmas.
Yeah, I was looking. I didn't see him. I don't see no Tyler. Speaking of Tyler, where is Tyler tonight?
Bowling.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, Mondays and Fridays, young gunner decides he's going to knock, roll a rock. And if you get that reference, you are a child of the 80s.
Oh, that's cool. Not too many kids like bowling anymore. I just actually went bowling with my girlfriend and her kids about a week ago. It was fun. My girlfriend can actually bowl. I can't beat her, man. I haven't beat her yet. She used to play in a league back in Ohio, so it's kind of unfair.
Oh, there you go then.
She's constantly like right around 200. It's like, damn, I gotta be like semi-pro to keep up with you.
Nah, you just got to get her. You just got to get her more drunk, or you've got to get more drunk. I forget which way that works.
That ain't. I was gonna say that ain't gonna help me any.
Yeah, one of you needs to be drunker than you were. But anyways, lights are out on the pace car. Field working its way down the back straightaway as we are going to get the green on lap 50. So right around halfway here.
And we've only been racing for about 45 minutes.
This race is going by surprisingly quickly, and I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not, because these guys really know how to wheel these cars. So pace car making that hard left turn. Banks holding them back a little bit. Texas is the start. Checks up that inside line.
Yeah, it did.
It's going to let Wubker and Burchett get some runs on that high side. Burchett side by side with Skylar Allen Jr. Skylar Allen Sr. We'll see what 6 laps difference in the tires does. Is there 3 wide off of turn 2?
Forcing the issue. So, excuse me, coming through. I got a leader to go catch.
And there goes Trevarthen as well. So you got Overtake Motorsports, you've got Metalhead, all trying to reel in Josh Banks right now.
Josh making it look like what old tires.
You're not wrong. And the battle really starting to heat up right now for 5th. Skylar Allen Sr. just a sitting duck right now. Everybody behind him with fresh skins under the car. Here comes Doug George. As
Tell you
flat,
what,
well, it looks like the team's been able to pound out the side of that car on the Captain Morgan's number 10.
back here for about 11th place, man. It is on back here. Everybody's weaving and bobbing and diving and banging off each other, doing everything they can not to wreck each other, but at the same time, not really giving anything either. Getting into the second half of this race, all the giving's probably going to start vanishing. It's going to be a lot of taking.
Well, these cats running right now for that's your battle for 6th that we're watching. Excuse me, 6th through 10th, and these guys are just slugging it out right now.
And Skyler trying to do everything he can to keep these guys behind him. Definitely doesn't want to get down there in the grass. That ain't going to help him any.
He's not trying to get down on the grass, but he is trying to use as much of the racetrack as he can.
He was one of the ones that stayed out, wasn't he?
Skyler stayed out,
sure.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Skyler stayed out, Jeff Wubker stayed out, and Josh Banks stayed out. Schmidt all over the back bumper of Allen right now.
He slammed the door on him there. No Girl Scout cookies wanted at this house.
I was actually in one of the offices at work today. Somebody knocked on the door, and I shouted, "Unless you've got Girl Scout cookies, go away." All of a sudden, the door opens up, and there's a box of Thin Mints aimed at my head. Okay, come on in. We can talk now.
Magic word. I like the peanut butter ones.
There was a box of those in their other hand.
Yeah, those are so good.
Now, which peanut butter? The peanut butter sandwich or the peanut butter chocolate covered?
No, just the peanut butter sandwich. Cookie.
See, kind of partial to the chocolate covered myself, but that's just me.
I've never even had those.
They look like a Thin Mint, except you bite into them and they're peanut butter.
Yeah, those have come since the last time I bought Girl Scout cookies.
Highly recommended, especially if you're a fan of peanut butter.
I'll have to check them out. I just don't ever see them selling the cookies anymore.
You need to go to dispensaries, which seem to be popular right now. As the Girl Scouts who know what they're doing, the older Girl Scouts anyways, who know what they're doing, seem to be outside of dispensaries.
We don't have any of those in Tampa yet. They're coming, but we don't have them yet.
Well then.
It just got legalized here medically last year, so.
Fair enough. Same here in New York. Anyways, up towards the front, the battle for the lead is really starting to pick up. Banks and Burchett all over the back, all over each other right now.
Maybe with all this stuff about guns going on and them having to worry about battle and all that, and we can slip it through without anybody noticing.
Sure.
What got past? Oh, okay. We'll let them go. They've been fighting for it for so long.
Side by side, Josh Banks able to hold the lead. 3 thousandths of a second at the line.
Skyler Allen still doing everything he can back here to hold off the 61 and about 10 other guys that are dying to get by. Whoa, Skyler a little loose coming out of the corner. That might cost him. Some of these guys might be able to get a run on the outside. He's trying to put the old block on. It's cost him one spot. The 11 now starts to prowl.
Oh, meanwhile, up towards the front, these guys are just throwing haymakers at each other for the lead of this thing. Burchett all over the back bumper of Banks. And you got to wonder how much of the goodie has Banks worn off the tires. You're talking about an 8-lap difference between the two. As Burchett Trevarthen bangs the wall coming off of 2. That's going to cost him a couple of mile an hour down the straightaway here. Josh Banks throwing blocks like his life depended on, a little bit sideways coming off the 4. Burchett with a nose out front.
I think he's got him now.
11 thousandths at the line for Burchett.
Yeah, but he'll be able to drive away now that once he gets by him and clears him, he'll be able to drive away from it.
And there it is.
Yep.
Not so much. A little bit sideways coming off a 2.
He'll get her woed up, though.
Trevarthen with a run now. And that is the battle right there. Skylar Allen still slugging it out with these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
That's your battle for 7.
Stretch.
3 wide.
3 wide. At the stripe.
Give the slot to Allen.
And nobody's waving a white flag as we go through the corner here. Check this out. Usually somebody waves the white flag. Looks like maybe the 43 finally did. Thought better of it.
Well, he got pinched all the way down to the apron. I'm thinking he kind of had no choice.
That's good, solid racing, man. The 11 and 96, and these guys been battling up for at least the last 5 laps. And the final one, the 11 got it done. Determination.
Jeremy Rigney up into 7th. Morrison and Allen still slugging it out. Ooh, almost contact. Allen able to take the evasive action and keep it off the wall.
Allen just trying to do everything he can to hold on right now. He's got them older tires and he's feeling it right now.
Well, I'm thinking the low line's not
attack.
going to help him much as he holds up into turn number 1.
Well, you never know. Worked that time. Kept up his momentum for the most part. He didn't get loose coming out of the corner. Kept these guys behind him.
Well, that's half the battle. Is right now, it's just a hungry pack of wolves right behind him now. As we are 40 to go, make that 39 to go.
I'm sure we'll get another caution, as we saw earlier in the race. And once they got into that 15, 20 lap window, guys started having issues.
Well, we've got some cars at 15, we've got some cars at 20. So,
well, maybe they've learned a little something. Maybe not. We'll have to just wait and see, hold our breath. Hopefully a lot of guys don't get caught up in it this late in the race.
As Rigney and Morris, I'm sorry, that's the lap car 87. Why am I drawing a blank? Rick Mitchell Jr., they were going side by side there.
Still got 21 on the lead lap of the 28 that started, and everybody's at least 6 laps or more down, so there would be no, significant wave arounds or anything. Nobody's getting back on the lead lap, so 21 of them still got a shot.
21 still got a shot, but meanwhile, Joe Burchett, half a second to the good out front right now.
How about Josh Banks just being able to hang on?
I have to say I'm impressed. 24 laps onto his tires right now, and he's able to hang with these guys that are 8 laps newer on tires.
And there's old Doug George creeping into the picture. You thought, when he pancaked the right side of his car earlier, that just put syrup on it and call it a day, but there he is.
Looks like he's done a lot of pit farming, as that car is not anywhere near as flat on the right side as it once was.
Buff some of that out.
And I'm thinking the Jackman may have probably done a couple of cannonballs on the right side right side fender.
Whatever works. He's coming, though. Either way, he's gaining on both second and third place, and looks like it's going to be a matter of time before he takes over the second place position, because he's caught up quite a bit of distance on these guys.
Well, catching him's one thing, getting by him's another. As we are currently 35 to go.
We are getting into that window where it can get a little unfriendly, a little touchy-feely. No resets here, so kind of got to play a little nice.
I have to say that these guys have really reinvigorated my like for stock car racing.
Go back here to about 12th place and look at this 5 o'clock hour traffic jam back here.
Good grief. That's Nadeau, Cox, and Etchapar.
Whole bunch of them right here. Whoa, big wiggle back there from the 29. Man, it looked like he was just going to head right to the wall, but he saved it.
I'm sorry, that's Worrell, Cox, and Nadeau. I stand corrected, as those guys are just doing what they can.
Skyler still falling. Whoa, that was close. Right there behind Skyler.
That was definitely a pucker moment there, as Worrell got a little bit sideways coming off before and almost collected Nadeau. Right now, it looks like rush hour on the 405 is a 6, completely sideways. That's Etchapar.
No caution.
He's able to
Seen
keep
a lot
it,
of that tonight.
collects it back up, and able to keep it pointed in the right direction.
How many times? Like the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that tonight. Cars going down there.
Well, here we go. The battle for third really shaping up right now. George to the inside of Banks.
Oh, we almost had a wreck on the front stretch. Who was that? Robert Dudley having a moment on the front stretch. He's got some left rear damage. I don't know how he didn't get hit or bring out the caution. Wow.
You. You know what? We're going to take a look at that one again.
A hell of a battle going on for 3rd place right now. Josh Banks trying to do everything he can to hang on.
Well, here's the thing. Here we're watching the replay of this one from the helmet cam of Timothy Giles. Oh my Lanta! It doesn't get much closer than that.
Meanwhile, they're still side by side for 3rd place as the 10 refuses to wave the white towel on it. He wants 3rd place.
Well, the 10 wants 3rd place, and Josh Banks does not want to give it up. The question is, they door bang a little bit coming across the stripe.
A little kissing action at the stripe.
George with a nose out front. Looks like he might have the clear here.
Yep, looks like that's going to do it. Might have spooked Josh a little bit. Just enough to where he can clear him.
And we've got to be closing in on when we're going to need a green flag stop.
I would be thinking so. Be 30 to go this time. 70 down, 30 to go here for Go Fast Racing. Been a good race here in their 5th race of the season so far at Auto Club. Seen some points.
There it is. Jeff Schmidt going to be one of the first takers. John Morris going with him.
Figured we were getting close. 30 lap window.
Skyler Allen going too.
Yeah, his tires were a little older.
His tires were a lot older.
He did a good job with them, though. He held on for the most part.
Absolutely.
As has Josh Banks up here in 4th place, and he's hanging on to the 10 right now. He's done a great job. But no sign of the top 4 coming to pit road yet.
Not yet. I'm thinking that they're going to stick this out as long as they can so that they can probably try to make an attempt at short pitting.
I'm thinking there's going to be a caution, too. Because we see every time the end of the stints come, there's been a caution.
Well, let's see how this plays out. Robert Dudley taking it down pit side.
Oh, we got a lot of merging traffic right now and still a lot of guys out on the track that haven't pitted. Wow. This could bring out the caution. These guys got to be careful back here. Always eventful when you got a bunch of cars trying to merge back in with a bunch of other cars.
And especially when those cars that are at speed are racing for position too, and you're just trying to get back up on the track. From the, it seemed like a good idea at the time category.
Will the leaders come this time?
Survey
Looks
says
like that way. No, looked like he was slowing down. Two of them are.
George is going.
Tyler's going with him.
Tyler's going with him.
First and second stayed out there. Looked like first was slowing down like he was going to come just the way the angle was, but no, he stayed out. So now that those two have pitted, though, I bet they're coming.
I'm thinking Burchett just had it a little too hot, and Trevarthen was probably just waiting to see what Burchett did.
And Burchett just dirt tracked it out of the corner that time, so I'm looking for him to come to pit road this time.
Safe bet. Definitely a safe bet there.
Be 26 to go.
Maybe not. He's still running it pretty hot. Nope, staying out.
Got her wound up.
How's that old saying? Loose is fast and on the edge out of control.
Hope you don't push it one lap too far. And they just put their competitors a lap down right there as they go around. Those guys will obviously be able to get on back by, but if I was Burchett, I would pit now this time around while they're still behind you.
Well, Littleton and Worrell just went down pit road. So, still going to be interesting to see what goes on here. Burchett,
here he comes.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. Bringing the two with him. Hey, you got those two guys behind you. Now it's a good time to pit.
But the question is, can Burchett hit his marks? We've seen him have trouble with that in the past. He's got to hit his marks here.
Same thing for the two. He wants to be in and out as fast as possible. No mistakes. Now is not the time.
Mitchell and Etchapar staying out.
41 over slid his bucks. That's going to cost him. Who's going to beat him off pit road? Yep, who's down on the way. 41 down on the way, but he has lost the lead either way. Can these guys stay in front of the 10? Nope. There goes Tyler, and there goes the 10 right along with him. So not a good pit stop for either one of these guys.
So of the cars that have pitted, Banks leading, George right behind him. Wubker 7/10 back. Schmidt with him. Then you've got Trevarthen, Morris, and Burchett. Meanwhile, Etchapar is your leader, 30 laps into his stint right now. I'm thinking he's probably going to be content to just ride behind these guys in front of him and try to save as much fuel as he can. Looks like he was trying to go that time, just was way too hot.
Always playing that caution game. Somebody's always playing the caution game.
Well, here's the thing, is he doesn't have a lot of people a lap down.
No, but it's track position.
Well, it's track position, but everybody behind him's already pit.
But if we get another caution in a lap or two, everybody's coming back to get tires again. Especially at the end of the race. But here he comes.
That almost ended poorly as the 69 just almost ran over your leader.
We've seen that happen too.
That's going to hand the lead over to Eric Minch. It's a name we haven't mentioned much tonight. Minch, 32 laps on his stint right now as Ejapar hits his box. Got to be wondering how much further the 32 can go here. As we are within the pit window of, I think we've seen the money stop, kids.
Yep, this stays greens. I can't even talk. If this stays green, we definitely have. But yeah, the 32's out there doing the same thing, just trying to hope for a caution right now because we're at the point where everybody would come back down pit road. So either way, it would work out for track position.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing is, it doesn't look like anybody's gonna step on their junk per se.
Never know.
Well, there's always that possibility. But with the field this strung out, there's your closest battle on the track right there.
For the lead?
No, that's your battle for fourth with Trevarthen, Burchett, and Schmidt.
Second and third is pretty close, too. But yeah, they're battling it up back there, those three are. This race definitely is not over yet between Josh Banks and Doug George.
You're absolutely right on that one, but right now, Joe Burchett he's in a team metalhead sandwich.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty furious about oversliding this box. That cost him a lot of time there on pit road. And the two didn't have a terrible pit stop, but he had a bit of a slow entry into his box, and I think that's what cost him. But yeah, he's under attack now by Burchett. Burchett's still got a little bit of time, but he's got a lot of ground to make up, man. We saw it last night, though. Maito came back, and he made the charge, and wound up making up a bunch of distance in the closing laps. We could see it here again tonight.
Well, here's the thing. If you take a look at all the pit times from entry cone to exit cone, Michael Trevarthen has the fastest time on pit road during that last segment with a 45.5. Next closest one is his teammate Jeff Schmidt with a 45.6. So, I mean, he may have been what seemed like slow into his stall, but fastest one from cone to cone. Meanwhile, up front, Eric Minch finally bringing it down pit side. And he is going to lose the lead just about that quickly as there goes your leaders flashing by him. We're just inside 20 to go. Banks, your leader. George, currently sitting in second. There's Burchett. There's Trevarthen. And unfortunately, Jeff Schmidt is dropping back off these guys.
How about the recovery by Stephen Parks? Who we saw him in that accident earlier. Now he's worked his way back to 11th place right now, putting the pressure on Skylar Allen for a top 10. What a recovery. Here he goes. Parks actually making the move. What a recovery by the one.
Actually, he is in 10th right now.
I'm still showing him 11th here. Oh, because you got the live updating. I'm using iRacing scoring.
Yeah, that's your battle for 9th. Parks to the inside, Skylar Allen on the high side. Allen trying to pinch him down to keep it wound up on the high side.
Ooh.
That almost ended poorly. Side by side down the back straightaways. We are going to be 15 to go this time across the stripe. Josh Banks still showing the way. 3/4 of a second to the good over Doug George. But this battle for 9th right now is just a slugfest.
This race went by pretty quickly. Been racing for about an hour and 10 minutes, folks. We're working lap 85 here at Auto Club. What, 3 cautions tonight, Tony? Maybe 4? I think it was 3.
Let's find out. 3 cautions for a total of 11 laps. I'll take that any night, sir.
It's been another solid race here.
These guys always put on a great show. The Go Fast Grand National Series, if anybody out there is looking to sponsor a series, this is probably one of the better series that you're going to see to sponsor. The other one I would suggest that doesn't already have a sponsor, that is, would be the Wednesday night Top Fuel series that you'll be seeing the premiere broadcast for as we become the premier broadcaster for this coming Wednesday. I believe you guys are, refresh my memory, Scott. Silverstone. So we're traveling across the pond, the land of legends in Silverstone. Going to be one hell of a road race. Your first road race of the season, I believe, in the Top Fuel Series on Wednesday.
Second. We were at Road Atlanta a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, right. Well, I know my normal broadcast partner, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett's got to be chomping at the bit for that one, because that's going to be pretty much a home race for him.
Yeah, it's his return race. He is chomping at the bit for that one, and I don't think he had a good finish in the last one, so he's looking to make a big bounce back this time. And the car, you can basically just throw it around all over that track. It's really going to be fun, so I'm looking forward to it personally.
So here's the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a stock car fan and you're looking to sponsor a league, Go Fast Grand National Series. If you're an open wheel fan looking to sponsor a league, get in touch with us and we can get you in touch with the. I happen to know the league admin of the Top Fuel Series personally, so we can get you in touch with that if you're looking to sponsor an open wheel series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Be sure to drop a comment with your iRacing screen name down at the bottom. We'll get you your information sent to the league admins and see if we can get you added into the action. Meanwhile,
Top Fuel Racing is also recruiting some new drivers, so if anybody wants to come race some open wheel, we're going to finish the rest of the season we're doing with the DW12.
Oh!
Yellow flag is out.
There we go, late competition. That'll change it up. But yeah, we're going to finish the season with the DW12. We'll be switching over to the IR over the summer. But if anybody wants to run some open wheel, check out Top Fuel Racing.
Skylar Allen just... Austin Marion just nowhere to go. Let's watch that again.
Well, that changes everything because George had pretty much burned up all his stuff. Burchett, I don't know if he was going to have enough time to chase down Tyler, but now we wind them all back up. About 6-lap shootout. It's going to be fun.
Skylar Allen with a slide for life, just chasing it. Austin Marion nowhere to go. Oh, my Atlanta. And you kind of knew it was coming because we were getting to that magic hour in the tire model where it was right around 20 laps for everybody, and Katie barred the door.
Well, let's see who get. I can't talk tonight.
I'm thinking you're going to see everybody take tires. I'm not sure who's going to take fuel.
I was just about to say, let's see who can get on and off pit road without making a mistake. We've seen some mistakes on pit road, and it's cost some drivers. So,
but here's the question: do you take 2 or
nope,
4?
I'm taking 4. I'm taking 4. They were out there too long. Oh, look at this! The 41 decided to stay out. Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Why did he just do that?
I don't know. Let's
That's all you if you won't bring him up here and ask him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bold.
User was moved to your
So
channel.
possible move of the race, Joe Burchett, Tony up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yeah.
So we just saw you throw a dummy on the field. Everybody else taking it down pit side. What's the game plan here with inside 10 to go?
Just gonna have to drive the wheels off of it. hopefully we can get a quick caution right around 5 to go and possibly lock up the race. I think if we go the whole distance, I may get past just because of the older tire, but I'll definitely give it all I got.
Well, fair enough, sir. I got to say, you surprised us up here in the booth. Best of luck to you, and hopefully we're talking good about you in the next couple of laps here.
All right, thank you, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
That's a bold move.
It's going to take a set of brass ones to be able to make this work.
Well, it is 3/16 day, so what better day to do it on?
Yeah. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, happy belated male version of Valentine's Day. Let's just put it that way. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know exactly what the 14th of March is.
Do you mean the 16th? Do you mean the 16th of March? I think you said the 14th.
I did say the 14th. The 14th of March is International Steak and what's the politically correct term for this? Steak and fellatio day.
I did not know that.
Which
it just happens to be my birthday too, so that's why I was like, did you mean the 16th or the 14th?
No, I mean the 14th. It's
pretty important day to me every year as well.
Yeah, go check my Facebook page when we're done here, Scott.
All right, I will. I never heard of that before.
Also, don't forget to like Go Fast Racing League, the Top Fuel Racing League, and the BOFA Broadcasting Company on Facebook. So, looks like we're going to have a 7-lap shootout.
Should be a good one. Still a lot of cars on the lead lap. A lot of guys are going to be looking to pick up positions and pick up points. So, no saving tires now.
Well,
they got to the end, and now it's time to be unfriendly.
Now it's time to be unfriendly, and Joe Burchett is doing exactly what he needs to do. Choosing the outside line over Josh Banks.
I just think there's way too many laps. I think that's going to be a decision regretted if he doesn't get a caution.
Well, here's the thing. He's
almost had a great chance to win had he pitted.
Well, with his history of sliding through his pit box, he kind of erred on the side of caution this time. He almost has to check up that entire outside line, and kind of what they would refer to on the short tracks as Texasing the start, where you act like you're going to go lift, let the guy next to you kind of get out in front. He's then got to lift, and as soon as you hear him roll off the throttle, mat it and go. Put your foot right through the floorboard and let it eat.
I just don't think the tire's going to hold up for 7 laps. Not with these guys having 4 Mr. Feelgoods.
Well, Burchett's got to get the restart of his life right here.
I've just called too many of these races and seen it too many times. I will be stunned if he holds on and wins this thing. I'll be the first one to congratulate him.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that when we do the post-race interviews. But
not saying it can't be done, but boy, this man's got his work cut out for him.
Pace car's in. He's holding the field down. Finally pulls the trigger.
Green flag, green flag.
And he is pretty much a sitting duck. He did not get the start that he probably was going to need. Not a big enough jump. But he could get some help from an unlikely source.
Look at that run they got through the corner. Oh, they pushed him up into the wall. That's them tires. They gave up on him in a hurry. Yep, I didn't think that would take very long, but I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, that decision cost him any chance to win this race.
Those tires just took the swan dive off the edge of the Grand Canyon. Right now, Josh
That's
Banks
tough,
showing the
Rick.
way, 7 to go. Banks, George, Trevarthen, Morris, Schmidt, Park, Allen, Granty, Littleton, and Wubker, your top 10. As right
here we
now,
go.
these guys are slugging it out for fifth.
Question is, does the 10 have anything for the 36, or is this the 36's race to lose? Or will we get a yellow before that even matters?
Well, if these guys keep racing the way that they're racing right now for fourth, we are going to have not only a caution, but we're going to have we're going to have a big scrap metal sale.
36 is pulling away. I don't know if anybody's going to have anything for him. 5 to go at the line. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't know if we're going to get to the end. There's a lot of guys wanting to pick up points right now, but they could wind up costing themselves points if they're not careful.
Oh, these guys are getting a little antsy right now for fourth.
Just a little.
Schmidt
All it's
has
gonna
it.
take
Here
is
comes
one more
Parks.
move, and
There it is.
There-
Yellow, yellow,
He's-
yellow.
Oh, more contact. Oh, more contact. Oh, heavy contact. Pinballing now. Collected a bunch of different guys.
Good grief.
Yeah. That's all it takes. Race is over. 36 wins it.
Yep, he tried to throw the block on Stephen Parks. Parks was already there. And Allen catching a piece of it. Mitchell catching a piece of it. Oh, my Lanta.
Joshua Banks will benefit from that and reap the rewards of winning this race here tonight. Tough decision by the 41. I bet he's regretting that decision now to have stayed out. It really cost him this race. Had he stayed out, he would have at least had a shot. He'd had 4 new tires, and the car wouldn't have done that when he went in the corner.
Well, you kind of have to gamble at that point. You know, and I can't ever, you know, fault somebody for gambling like that.
No, but I'm just saying, I bet he wishes he had that to do all over again.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. But we can all be an armchair crew chief, you know, after the fact. But I can't say I wouldn't have tried something similar if I was in the same situation. I can't say that I wouldn't. I can't say that I would, because to be honest with you, I've never been in these longer races myself. So, you know, most of the races that I run are, you know, under 50 laps, and it's been over a year since I've been in a longer oval race right now where pit strategy comes into play.
I'll get you up to speed on them. I've called, God, man, 300 to 500 of these things. Tire model's pretty much the same. I'm surprised that the cliff fall off though. That's new.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the latest tire model for the stock car. Is
yeah, that's new to me. It's the big cliff falling off, but because normally you'd be able to stretch it. God, some guys take it 40, 45, 50 laps, depending on what track you're at.
you used to be able to.
No problem.
In the Indy car, yeah, you could probably get away with it. You used to be able to
I'm
in the
talking
stock
about-
car.
Yeah, no, I'm referring to these cars.
Yeah, you used to be able to, but the last couple of tire model changes that they've done, it's been a nightmare as soon as you get right around the 20 lap mark. All the goodie is off the tire at that point. You're kind of white knuckling it, holding on for dear life, praying for a caution and hoping it's not you.
Now, hopefully iRacing will get that corrected. I know they've had some issues with tire models in the past. They usually get it corrected. They can't fix everything at once. Sometimes things just don't work the way they want them to.
Well,
World's
I'm
not
just glad that
perfect,
they
folks.
finally fixed the dirt tire model. So, you know, that's something that I'm really happy to see, because the way that was working when they first released dirt, it didn't seem right, and excuse me, anybody that has real life dirt experience knows what I'm talking about if you've run the iRacing dirt cars before. The way you had to set the tire up to get the best performance out of it was just bizarre. And that's the polite way that I can put that. But unless Josh Banks runs out of fuel right here, which I've seen stranger things happen. You know, he's pretty much got the victory. So we're just waiting for unfortunately it's a minute 43 seconds per pacing lap here. And yeah, it's
I don't see Josh Banks in TeamSpeak. Do you see him anywhere?
Let me look. I
found him.
Not.
They're all down there in the waiting room. I found him.
Okay, there he is. So we've got our top three. We're just waiting for. Helps if I go live, doesn't it? So they are on the final lap. Pretty much academic from here. Scott, I don't know about you, but this was one of the most exciting races I've called, because there was just, even when the field started to get strung out, there was still battling going on with the guys who pitted anywhere near each other. And even if the guys that didn't pit anywhere near each other, there was still some hard-fought battling going on when they found the rest of the guys they were running with prior to the pit stop.
The whole race was pretty much a battle all the way through the field. Sometimes we were seeing 3-4 wide back there in the very tail end of the field. So everybody brought their game tonight, and we still got 18 on the lead lap. So a lot of guys are going to finish on the lead lap. Some guys are going to have a good night. Some guys aren't. Second place in the points didn't show up. First place didn't have a good run tonight. So the points are going to be shaken up a little bit after tonight's race.
Points are going to be shaken up huge after this race, as Tyler Cox actually finished 28th.
Yep. They have a new points later after tonight.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's been a pleasure calling the race with you. Joshua Banks is your winner tonight. That makes it official right there. Josh Banks first, Doug George second, Michael Trevathan third, Jeff Schmidt fourth, and Stephen Parks got himself a top 5 there.
All right, so
Was moved to your channel.
let's start with Team Metalheads, Mike Trevathan. Mike, not the finish you were hoping for. He had a hell of a run most of the night. You were able to keep these guys honest. Did you have anything for them had it stayed green?
Josh was pretty quick, and Joe was too. So, like I said, I don't know. Some equally matched cars, a lot of fast race cars in here, man.
A lot of fast race cars, but you guys were just, it was constant battling throughout the field, and you got to be proud of your team as you guys put 2 of you in the top 5 tonight. Talk us through that last stint. Did the thought of gambling on 2 even enter your mind when you went into the money stop there?
No, not at all. One of our teammates took 2 on that previous caution, and it didn't pan out. So, like I said, great night for Metalhead Motorsports altogether. Like I said, I'm happy with the top 3 here.
Fair enough. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight, sir?
Yeah, most definitely. I'd like to give a shout out to Bo for broadcasting for broadcasting our events here. I know you guys put a lot of time and energy into it. Metalhead Motorsports, Jeff Schmidt, Austin Marion, Dylan Vose, Todd Cray, Eric Mensch. Without the team effort here, like I said, I wouldn't be here. So like I said, thanks to Go Fast Racing and Skylar and everything he does for the league itself. So, yeah, great run. Can't wait for tomorrow night.
All right. If Scotty, if I heard you right before the broadcast, we're going to be off for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Off the next 2 weeks, back on April 6th.
And we're going to Texas. So, Mike, what are your feelings about going to the Lone Star State?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at a lot of the mile-and-a-half track, so I'm pretty comfortable there. I've got a few wins there. So, like I said, hope for the best and see where we fall.
All right, Mike, congratulations on the podium, and we will see you in a couple weeks at the Lone Star State.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
So, definitely not the finish he was hoping for. Doug George coming home in second, but very impressive run, especially being that you pancaked the side of the car earlier in the event. How much pit farming did you have to do, Doug, to get the right side of that car back to where it would be aero neutral?
Yeah, I never really got the car recovered from that. I don't know if the Xfinity car is a little bit wider or if the way you sit in the car or whatnot, but if I don't drive it for a while, I'm almost guaranteed to knock the right side off the car at least once in a race.
Well, don't feel like the Lone Ranger tonight, because you weren't the only one who was finding the outside retaining wall coming off of 2 or 4. How bad was the tire fall off, though? That's the big question. And when you guys had that real long run, how much fuel did you have left in the tank when you guys made those green flag stops?
Tire fall off was definitely important. I think Banks stayed out after 2 or 3 green flag laps. He stayed out front, and we were able to catch him fairly well. It was definitely surprising that Joe stayed out at the end there. That surprised me. As far as fuel, I think I calculated it up early in the race. We were getting about 34, 35 laps on a tank. So, yeah.
All right, fair enough. So we're off for the next 2 weeks here on the Friday night with the Grand National Series. Talk us through your thoughts about getting some prep work in for the return in 2 weeks at the Lone Star State, Texas.
Well, I like Texas. I haven't taken the fix set out there yet. If it's loose or free, I'll definitely like the car. That's what I liked about the car today, is through the long run, the car freed up quite a bit, and for me, it's a lot more comfortable to drive a free car than it is a tight one. So, yeah, we'll be geared up for Texas, and in the meantime, be trying to run these guys down the Cup Series.
Fair enough. So, during the money stop, did the thought ever cross your mind to only go with 2, considering you like a freer car?
I thought about it. I didn't get the chance in practice to test that. A lot of times before the race, I'll try to put right sides only on, because some of the cars will get extremely tight and some of them will get extremely loose with only right sides, and just not having that knowledge or experience, I didn't want to risk it and get sent to the back.
Fair enough. All right, Doug, anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just these guys for letting me come race with them, and Skylar for helping put on the show, and look forward to racing with everybody again in the future.
All right, so we will see you back here on Beaufort Broadcasting anyways in 2 weeks from Texas.
Great, thanks, man.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved out of your channel.
The man of the hour, Mr. Joshua Banks. Josh, hell of a run tonight.
I appreciate that.
Talk us through when you saw Joe try to throw the dummy on you for a second time tonight. He caught you out. previous stop, and then on the last stop, he stayed out when you went in. What was going through your mind when that all happened?
I mean, I was a little curious of what his thinking was on that last pit stop because I knew the tires by that point were going to be shot. So I had a little question on it, and obviously it didn't work out for him. Unfortunately, I wish he had a better run for him because I know he ran good all race. But I was a little questioning that, but thankfully we were able to get through that and regain the lead and everything went our way.
So how far down into the pit of your stomach did your heart drop when you saw that the entire field went down pit road and caught you out on the stop before that?
Oh, I was a little disappointed. I mean, wasn't gonna lie because I knew I wasn't gonna last long in the front. I thought I could last a little bit, and I did for what I did. But I was kind of hoping for a caution in a short run there, and it didn't happen. Thankfully, we were able to keep up with the pack. I was very pleased with that, even though we were 2 laps warmer tires or used tires. I was happy that we were able to keep up with them, and then when that green flag pit stop came in and everything turned around there, that's what really changed the game there. So thankfully all that went right. My guess went right. Let's put it that way. So.
All right, fair enough. So next 2 weeks, I believe we're off, and then we're back at Texas. Thoughts about going to the mile and a half there?
I have the worst luck at Texas, to be straight up honest. I've done good there, but always something happens near the end that screws me over. So hopefully this race that's coming up in the next couple of weeks won't screw me over, and maybe we come out with another win 2 weeks in a row.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. You had that Matco Tools number 36 just wound right up. A virtually dominating performance tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd just like to first off thank my team SWA for supporting me and cheering me on, win a race and everything. And just like I said, shout out to them. And shout out to Matco, my sponsor, which really technically ain't my sponsor, but I work for them, so I technically can say they're my sponsor. So shout out to them. And if anybody's watching this, I do have a YouTube channel that I usually post races on. So if you are into YouTube, you can check that out. It's Dusty Vengeance. So shout out to that. And shout out to you guys for broadcasting this race and the league. And I'm glad to see y'all jumping on board and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, with the action you guys keep putting on the track, we're very happy to be able to bring these races to the fans.
Well, good day. I'm glad to hear y'all enjoying the races.
We'll see you. We're really looking forward to seeing what you guys will do with the mile and a half there at Texas in a couple weeks. Congratulations again to the on the win tonight, and we'll see you at Texas, sir.
All right, boss man, appreciate it.
Good job on your win, Josh.
I appreciate it there, Scott.
All right. So that's going to about wrap it up here. Let's do a quick rundown of the finishing order. Josh Banks coming home with the victory. Doug George able to hang on for second. Mike Trevarthen rounding out your podium. Jeff Schmidt coming home in fourth. Stephen Parks able to hang on for fifth. Lee Grantee for sixth. Brian Littleton coming home in seventh. Eighth place going to Jeff Wubker. Skylar Allen with a strong ninth place finish tonight. Very impressive out of Skylar. And David Worrell able to hang on for rounding out the top 10.
Chris Edgebar finishes 11th. Mark Nadeau 12th. Robert Dudley comes home 13th tonight. Jeremy Rigney finishes 14th. Damon Cox 15th. Joe Burchett, bad decision at the end. I'm sure he's regretting it. Unfortunately, comes home 16th. Would have had a shot to win had he not stayed out there, but I'm sure we'll see him bounce back next week and have a stronger finish. Rick Mitchell 17th. Eric Mitch, first car lap down, finishes 18th. John Morris, 19th. And Timothy Giles rounds out the top 20.
Austin Marion able to come home in 21st. Carl Hayes able to bounce back from that early drop through in 22nd. Rick Mitchell Jr. in 23rd. James Finn in 24th. 25th going to Todd Cray. Tyler Cox able to rebound into 26th. Aaron Fowler in 27th, and unfortunately Brandon Puffenbarger coming home in 28th. So that is going to do it here from Auto Club Speedway. You have, of course, been watching the...
User disconnected from your channel.
And I think I just lost Scotty.
Nope. That was Josh.
Okay, so we lost Josh. So you are watching a presentation of the Go Fast Racing League. This was the Grand National Series. If you like the action that you saw tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you want to get in on the action with the Go Fast Racing Series or Racing League in any of their series, go ahead and wait till after the live broadcast is over and drop a comment in the replay comment section with your iRacing screen name. We'll get that passed along to Skylar and the rest of the admins and see if we can get you in on the action in one of the future events. So this is going to do it for tonight. We will be off for the next 2 Fridays. We will be back in 2 weeks in Texas. Would like to invite everybody to join us this coming Sunday for our first dirt race ever. Like, subscribe, and share, and you'll get the information on that one. Not 100% certain how that's going to turn out. We're still experimenting with how the overlay is going to have to work for that, but we will get something put together prior to that event going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday evening. For excuse me. For Mr. Scott Brinson, on behalf of the entire Bofa Broadcasting Company, this is Rich Brassel saying, we will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty, beam me up.
Have a good weekend, everybody.